everyone, Jessica here from Down Dog Update, and today I have Rina Jakubowicz with me. She is in Miami, Florida right now, but she is all over the world actually. She is a bilingual yoga teacher, she's an author, she has an app and yoga studios in the Florida area. She's going to be at the Yoga Journal Conference in New York City at the end of April, and I could really just go on, but we're going to talk about a little bit more of that. But main question that I have, and I think everyone has after they've heard, is how do you do it all? I mean, clearly you're an entrepreneur here. Yoga is your passion and your love, but clearly you're the entrepreneur. You're doing so many different things, and we're just wondering, how do you manage it?
Well, that's a very good question, because sometimes it does feel like it's hard to manage. But really what has always helped me and driven me is to have direction. Like, I have a path that I am very clear about that I want to go on. And when some other things come in that are not necessarily on that path, I just kind of push it to the side and keep going. So it's a lot about prioritizing and reprioritizing, because, I do juggle between personal life, business life, and being an entrepreneur, as many of you may know, is extremely challenging because you make or break it and it's all up to you. So it really just, every day, I'm very grateful for everything that's happened and everything that I've done. And at the same time, I try to make sure that I still have enough time for my family, for my friends, for everything. But I also do see everything as an opportunity. So I'm definitely an optimistic person, but realistic, not like, delusionally optimistic. Everything's going to be fine, which it is going to be fine. Right. But I also am realistic. So I try to find those projects that I can really see myself completing. But at the same time, if you ask my assistant, I have 50 things that I haven't done that I still want to do that I've had on my list for about 9 years. So those things will slowly get chipped away, but I can't get anxious about that list because then I won't do what I need to do today. Right. Otherwise, I'll just get overwhelmed. And it is a lot, I won't lie. But at the same time, that's kind of what feeds me. Like, I'm very driven, and I like to see things go through, like follow through on all aspects. So, some things do fall through the cracks, and I'm like, what happened? Wait, I forgot about this. No, okay, gotta pull it up again, Right. So, but I also have an amazing team. Right. I have a great team behind me, and they do help, and they pick up the slack when I need it, and that's huge to have a support system that really believes in you and wants to see you grow and excel.
Yeah, as you were mentioning assistant, that's the first thing I thought of. We're only humans. We can only do so much. You really do need a good team of people to help you out. So that's one thing to take away. If you are just one person doing everything, it's easy to get overwhelmed, and that kind of thing. So that's really important. So for those out there that are doing so many things and are only one person, do you have like a morning routine or like a way that you structure your day that might be, a good way to go about getting a lot of things done?
Well, I start my day studying, actually. I wake up, and the first thing I do is I grab my book, a Bhagavad Gita, or one of the books from my teacher, and I study or watch him. Like, he has video, some of his chats online, so I watch and I take notes. That kind of sets the tone for the rest of the day for me, because if I skip that, which sometimes I do, if I skip that, I do notice the rest of the day I'm like a little bit more anxious, per se, or like catching up with things, where that kind of already sets the tone of like, everything's fine, everything's going to be okay, just do one thing at a time. I do tend to try to have, whether it's like I make myself breakfast, because if I skip breakfast, then I won't eat later on, because I'll be catching up with so many things, emails, projects, phone calls, meetings, like, these kind of interviews. And then all of a sudden it's 4 o'clock and I haven't eaten. So I do make myself a breakfast, whether I sometimes make myself an acai bowl or some kind of granola with fruit, something that's hearty enough but also healthy. And then I start, going away at the computer or, catching up on some emails. My practice is, not as consistent as it used to be, but at least I try to get in some stretches, whether it's even like right before going to bed, doing some stretches to open up my body. So it is challenging to insert the practice some, just because of all the traveling. But I literally do headstand before getting on a plane. I'm at the gate and I'm in my headstand and I tune everybody out. I put on my headphones, jam out to some music, and I just enjoy, a little bit of that time that I literally have nothing to do. So I practice.
Yeah.
And hopefully it inspires people. They're like, what's this crazy girl doing?
Yeah. That's true.
The little kids join in, actually. So
That's true. You have to take advantage of those little parts of your day where you're waiting, because those start to add up. So that's a good tip, actually. I like that one. Now, because you do have so many things going on and very driven, is there one thing currently that you're really focusing on, that you're working on producing or doing right now?
Well, I'm actually in the middle of putting together like my teacher training that I'm doing in Mexico. We're actually having a cameraman come out to try to film the whole thing so that we can put it online and have some of that option, because there are some people, that have reached out to me from all over the world that are like, oh, can I get your training online? And I'm like, not yet. So that's definitely one of the things that we're trying to shift to see how we can make it manageable for people to consistently practice at home.
Right.
And also, I'm working with Guy TV, and they're putting up another video coming up in April now, launching another one, and there's several more coming up. So that's exciting as well.
Yeah.
But I am seeing that people are asking for more videos and more ways of practicing with me, that I want to make it happen for them, So that's exciting.
Yeah. And just quick sidetrack, because you mentioned the online video thing. I'm just curious what your thoughts are on this whole shift to online videos and practicing like at home or wherever you might be doing classes as a yoga teacher. How do you feel about doing the online classes versus like a studio class?
Well, the way I look at it is that obviously face-to-face and one-on-one is the best way. I mean, that is more, teacher-student relationship, and the teacher really being able to read the student and see where their needs are, because you're going to have different needs than the person I talk to right next to you, So, and I as a teacher needs to be able to read that and assess that and then give accordingly, or serve accordingly. Yeah. But the reality is, this is the life this is the modern life that we've created for ourselves, right? Yeah. With all our phones and all our apps and iPads and everything, everything is technological now. And at least it brings people to the mat somehow, and so it's the next best thing to being face-to-face, let's say. And if it introduces somebody to being able to then come to a class face-to-face, then that's great.
Yeah.
I've had we did an Instagram challenge thing or whatever, and two of the people that did the challenge, which is obviously modern social media technology, are now doing my training. So they're going to be in Mexico, and now there's going to be face-to-face time. You know, so that's huge.
Yeah,
that's the way to utilize technology for positive. And being able to do yoga online is way to utilize it positively. Even though, of course, face-to-face is the next best thing. But I can't clone myself. Although trust me, I've tried and wanted to so bad. But it is what it is.
Right.
So that's the way of cloning yourself without necessarily actually cloning yourself.
Yeah, it's true. You have to take advantage of the positive aspects of it, and there definitely are a lot of them. That's nice. And shifting back to the entrepreneurial side of things, for those yogis out there that have that spirit, is there any piece of advice that you can leave us with that you might tell someone who's trying to pursue an idea or something that they're working with right now?
Stay with it. I mean, if you really feel in your gut, regardless of what other people think of it, and they think it's crazy, or God knows, what the external world opinions are of it, if you really feel in your heart of hearts and in your gut that this is your path, then stick with it. Especially if it's helping other people and benefiting other people. It's obviously, if it's completely self-absorbed, then maybe you want to question it a little bit. But really trust yourself and allow yourself to continue to go forward with it, just because it's the right thing for you. And it's hard because you're going to get a lot of external pushes that say no. I mean, I went to one of the top schools, high schools in the country, super expensive, and then I went to college. My parents spent tons of money in college. I studied marketing and advertising. I graduated from college, and I turned into a yoga teacher. That's something that my parents maybe, I don't know what's happening to her, right? She's going to go live in an ashram for months. She's crazy.
Yeah.
But in the end, it was my path, and I saw it through, and here I am. So it is possible as long as you stay focused. There's going to be, this is your path, and there's going to be little distractors that want to pull you out, and you have to stay on the course, regardless of the the challenges, because as soon as you hit one bump, it's easy to go, poof, whatever, I can't do this.
Right.
But if you know it's right for you and it's in your gut, just keep going.
Right, absolutely. And I feel you're a wonderful example of that with the many, many things that you have done and will do in the future. I can just imagine what great things that we have to come from you. So if anyone that isn't in the areas where your studios are in Florida, they can check out some of your stuff online, maybe get your app and things like that?
Well, the app, they can get, unfortunately, only through iPhone.
Okay.
Sorry. But yeah, there's also, I have classes on yogisanonymous.com. If you speak Spanish, at aomm.tv, there's a couple of Spanish classes there. Also, Gaiam TV, I have that one class, I Am Love, and then another one coming up this month. It's called I Am Pure. It's for cleansing, basically, spring cleaning. And so yeah, so those are the best ways. And actually, at the end of this month, I'm going to be at Yoga Is, which is an online conference. Like so far, they're calling it the largest online conference, April 30th through May 3rd, I believe, that you can check out some workshops and lectures there.
Awesome. So we have so many different ways that we can check out your yoga classes and everything you have going on. We're very excited about that. Thank you, Rina, so much for joining us. I really appreciate it. Awesome.
Thank you so much.
So guys, subscribe to the channel so that way you can check out more of what we have going on in the future. And I look forward to seeing you soon. Have a great day. Namaste.
Bye.